In the last video on using Riff Lab's AI features, I showed you how to use the Auto Generate button to let Riff Lab build a riff for you. Now, in this video on pattern generation in Riff Lab, I'll show you how to get started using the intelligent Auto Pattern Builder feature, which can create for you some really powerful exercises or help you piece together a really great riff. Okay, so let's dive in. This is the Pattern Generator button. All we have to do is add a few notes to the tab notation Riff Lab can build a pattern from. You can add notation directly by clicking notes on the fretboard, and it takes at least 2 notes to form a pattern, but experiment with this using different numbers of starting notes. For this example, I'm going to let Riff Lab create the whole thing. First, I'll set this to 1 measure and let Riff Lab's AI create a 1 measure riff that will convert into an exercise. Let's see what Riff Lab comes up with. Here we go. Okay, now that we have a good starting pattern, it's time to build out an exercise by having Riff Lab complete the pattern. So we're just going to drag select the notes here. You can do that, or if you want to just select them all, you can use Control-A on Windows or Command-A on a Mac if you're using your desktop computer. For Pattern Builder, the measure setting here tells Riff Lab how many measures you want to end up with. So since we already have 1 measure, if I were to leave this set to 1, nothing would happen because we already have 1 measure. So I'm going to choose 4 here to end up with 4 measures, including the notes I'm starting with. So here we go. Now here's where the intelligent part of Riff Lab's Auto Pattern Builder comes in. I'll click the Smart Strokes button here to let Riff Lab analyze the pattern and add some nice pick stroke saving phrasings like hammer-ons and pull-offs. Notice how Pattern Builder created a sequence that allows you to use the same pick strokes and phrasings for each repeat of the pattern. That's because the default setting for Pattern Builder is set to this. See this favor climbing the fretboard option? If you want a sequence that remains in 1 fret position for as long as possible, choose this option. In a minute, I'll show you how that works. Now, I'll just add an ending note here to make it sound complete. Let's choose a backing track and listen to our new creation. Okay, now we've got it finished, so you want to give your creation a name and a description and save it. Then you can come back and work on it anytime you're ready. Earlier, I mentioned these 2 options, and I was going to show you the difference between the 2. I'll select Favor Position Playing and rebuild the sequence using the same starting measure. I'm going to delete everything but the first measure here. I'll put things in fast motion when I edit this to save you some time. Okay, Riff Lab has rebuilt the note sequence using the Favor Position Playing option. So let's play this now, and you'll see that even though the notes are all the same, Riff Lab found all but 1, this A note right here, in the first position. Well, let's apply Smart Strokes and see what happens. Notice that we don't get consistent hammer-ons and pull-offs with each repeat of the pattern because string crossings are not consistent. And because this A note is outside this hand position down here, Riff Lab added a slide up to the A note. following the riff creation method I just showed you in this video, there's no end to what you can come up with. I hope you have a lot of fun with this feature. While I was making this video, I had to pause the recording and work up this little sequence, and it exposed me to some left and right hand stuff I'd never done before. But now I've got it, and there's no way I would have come up with these things on my own. So I know for a fact that this tool, if you use it right, it's going to make you a better and more creative guitar player. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video where I'll go a little deeper into how to get the most out of Pattern Builder.